One of the agencies here in India is now reporting the survey department of the Agriculture Ministry in Nepal, which says that there are 11 places that the Chinese are doing road construction in Tibet, and in 10 of those places, about 33 hectares of Nepali land has been encroached upon by diverting the flow of rivers which act as a natural boundary. So, what the Chinese have actually done is they've diverted the flow, and many of these borders are defined by the actual riverbed. So, you divert the flow of the river, and then when the river changes course, you claim that part of land which was earlier on the other side as yours. Now, Ashish, my colleague, is joining us on the telecast on this. Ashish, this report coming out at this point of time is very, very telling.
Yes, and this must be seen in addition to the specific village which shares the border with the Chinese side, situated in North Gorkha region, where we had reported earlier in the day that 70 of the homes in that particular village, which basically is the last village in Nepal, the villagers feel that they are Nepalese, but administratively, operationally, they are under the Chinese control. And now these kind of reports are emerging from Nepal is a clear indication that the Nepalese government must realize before it's too late the land grabbing approach of the Chinese government. They might be helping them with a bit of money, with a bit of infrastructure, but this comes with a cost, and the cost is losing your own territory, losing your own land, which should be the primary focus for any government as far as the sovereignty and the territory of the government is concerned. Now, when we see this report coming in, Rishabh, this has the traits as far as the multiple such similar tactics have been adopted by the Chinese government at multiple other locations, be it the Maldives, the Sri Lankan. They basically change the entire demography and the geography of the specific location so that they can easily grab that particular land. And we, in this case as well, we see that happening, the specific trait of the Chinese approach as far as the land grabbing is concerned.
Okay.
China is, it seems it's too late now, but they better realize it soon.
A wake-up call. Now it's up to the Nepalese to figure out, when they're publishing maps, whether those maps are being published only towards one side, or do they reflect Chinese occupied Tibet as well. General Dhruv Khatoj, it was almost inevitable. Now this is obviously an official report that's being quoted. Whether the Nepalese regime actually does something about this official report is a different matter.
You see, Rishabh, one of the things which has happened is, you know, when Nepal made their claims on Limpi Yadura in India, which was never there, it has never come up earlier. I think one of the reasons was that there are villages in Nepal bordering China. One of the villages called Riu. Now, those people from Riu village have actually moved out, and that has been overtaken by China. Now, I think Mr. Oli wanted to suppress what was happening there, the theft of Nepalese land which is taking place by the Chinese. So he put up this false flag thing on India, and the whole attention of the people got diverted, especially when he goes to the Nepalese parliament with him. And I think the Nepalese are going to pay a very, very heavy price. Already there are talks going on across many circles, even within Nepal, that is Nepal going to become the Tibet of the future? Is it going to become like the Tibet Autonomous Region? Will it be the Nepal Autonomous Region of China?
Well, almost.
They are actually moving towards that direction, and I think the Nepalese public, they need to be very, very aware of what is happening on their borders.
Or simply become the new Pakistan, where the Chinese own the important bits. So the ports and the corridors and the railway lines and the roads are all China owned and operated. And the rest of you are pushed out because they bring their own engineers, their own labor force, their own companies, and they give nothing back to the economy. Kathmandu is already heading into that state. Professor Nalapa, just come in on this point. Now, this is an official report that's come out that the Nepalese themselves have published. Unlikely that Prime Minister Oli is going to do much about it.
Well, it's not. I think it's extremely unlikely, and the fact is that the Chinese are very good at grabbing whatever opportunity they have. There are some countries that grab the opportunities available to them, or create opportunities. There are other countries that neglect even the opportunities they have. Now, I mean, look at India, for example. You know, in terms of cruise missiles, I think the general is talking about the BrahMos, a first-class missile. And you know, we have a Russian-Indian version of the BrahMos. And guess what? Almost immediately the plans were reached China and from there to Pakistan. But luckily, our engineers and scientists and technicians fashioned a completely Indian version of the cruise missile, which is by far the best cruise missile available. Now, it is the best cruise missile available, but guess what? We're not selling it anywhere. You know, we're not selling it to anybody. So we're losing money on it, whereas we could gain a lot of money and fund a lot of activity on that. So that is where, Rishabh, the question comes. We are so ambivalent about who our friends are and who our enemies are.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know, so we can't sell to anybody.
I think
yes, Ambassador Mukherjee was talking about the Russian people being upset. I haven't seen too much of the Russian people involved in the Russian government. I don't think President Putin is very concerned about that feeling. The reality is today Russian petroleum, Russian economy, Russian elite and Macau banks, the Russian financial system is now completely at the mercy of China.
Okay, Ambassador Mukherjee.
I want to make one more point.
Yeah, go ahead.
General Katur was talking about what happened. Why aren't we able to make tanks? Why, look, what happened to the HF-24 Maruth? Immediately, as soon as it became a successful design, as soon as it became an operational aircraft, all kinds of changes were made in the specifications. And as a consequence, oh no, we don't want this, we want that. They loaded all kinds of things on it, very unreasonably. The same thing happened to the Vijayanta tank. I mean, the Insas rifle was a disaster from day one. But again, I would like to say, the fundamental point is, you have civil servants there in charge of these departments. Defense and Home, for example.
Okay.
You have civil servants. You don't have domain specialists.
Okay.
ISRO and
so there is a larger issue here.
Energy Commission, you have domain specialists.
If
we had domain specialists, then the situation would have been very different.
Let me quickly, before I take a break, reel it back to exactly the information that we're putting out. Ambassador Mukherjee, now, if we need to be clear about who our friends are and who our friends are not, certainly the Nepalese need to be made deeply aware exactly of that. Now, they also have to make these decisions at a point of time to be able to see the writing on the wall and what the Chinese are doing.
Well, you know, Rishabh, it was Chanakya who had said that when you have neighbors, they are either your enemies or your vassals. Now, it would appear that it's the Chinese who have taken over this very interesting concept of Chanakya, because they are actually trying to make vassals out of weaker states. And of course, those whom they cannot overpower, like India, we are their enemy. The Nepalese have actually played their cards very badly, and I would completely agree that they're going to pay a very heavy price for it. I don't see them actually going into a Tibet-like situation right now. It might be very tricky for the Chinese to do that right now. But yes, they are known for just plain exploitation, taking out as much as they can for their own economy, etc.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.